All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's press conference featuring the 5th-seeded Colorado Buffaloes as they preview their second-round game against the 4th-seeded Kansas State Wildcats tomorrow at 1 p.m. Joining us today are student-athletes Frida Foreman and Maddie Nolan. For those seeking additional interviews, Colorado's locker room is open now until 1:55. As a courtesy to your fellow media members and the student-athletes, please turn your cell phones and smartwatches to silent. For those asking questions, please raise your hand, and Hunter will bring you the microphone and identify yourself and your organization. For those joining us on Zoom, please use the raise hand function if you have a question, and once all in-person questions have been asked, we will move on to the Zoom platform. As a reminder, recording press conferences on cell phones or cameras is prohibited. Hammond Communications will post a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Hub located at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are also provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly after the conclusion of the press conference. We now open it up to questions for the student-athletes. Go third row in the middle.
Brian Howell from the Boulder Daily Camera. This is for both of you. I don't know if it's an advantage that you guys have played Friday, Sunday, but is there some comfort in just knowing that this is what your schedule's been basically for 3 months, is playing Friday, playing Sunday?
Why don't you start, Frida?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same schedule as we always do, you know. We did travel a little bit earlier, so that was kind of different. But yeah, I mean, we're used to this. But if it had been a night game, I think we would have been able to do that as well.
I think from personal experience, I guess the last couple of years playing in a conference that didn't play Friday, Sunday, and then having to come to a tournament that is Friday, Sunday, where you only have 1 day of prep in between. This year with the Pac-12 having that experience, I do personally think is an advantage, just because you're more used to like recovering and getting your body ready, getting your mind right, and the coaches kind of know what to do within this 1 day of prep versus having like 2 or 3.
Go second row in the middle here.
Troy Finnegan, CU Sports Report. For both of you, Jalen said on Sunday that she likes playing in front of big road crowds. Just, do you guys enjoy that? And just your thoughts on playing in front of what should be a pretty rowdy crowd tomorrow night.
Go ahead, Maddie.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm like, yeah, woo, let's always play in front of opposing crowds. But I think it's something that we've seen all season long and something that we're definitely prepared to do. And obviously they had experience with it last year playing at Duke. So I don't think it's something that I'm like, yeah, I would sign up to do every day, but it's definitely something we have experience with.
Frida?
Yeah, I agree. But I also think, you know, like a big crowd is always good. You know, you want to play at a big stage. And, of course, it's more fun when they're cheering for you and not against you. But it's noise either way. It's just a lot of noise. So I think just being used to play through that, even on your home court, it can be kind of hard to hear what each other's saying and getting the play calls from the coach. So just being used to that pressure.
Go second row on the right.
Mitch Fortner, News Radio KMAN. What has been the toughest environments you guys have played in from both of you?
Frida?
Oh, can you answer it first?
Yeah. In the Pac-12 this year, I'd definitely say the Oregon State game was they have a lot of fans. They do a good job. I thought Washington actually had a nice fan base too. I've also had to play at Iowa for a Big Ten championship, so that was just not fun at all. But yeah, I mean, just stuff like we're used to that.
Yeah, I agree. I think the times that we've played at Stanford, we didn't do that this year, but that's always a really hard crowd. And yeah, like I think a lot of Pac-12 teams that had a lot of attendance this year, our USC game, there's a bunch of people. So yeah, it's been tough to be on the road this year for sure. So this will be no different.
Yeah, Arizona too.
Arizona, yeah.
They always have a really good fan base. Yeah.
Yeah.
For both of you, what have you learned about K-State over the last few hours?
Frida?
Yeah, I think obviously they have a really big piece of the game in Ayoka Lee in the post. I mean, she's super dominant in there, but I think we're confident that we can find ways to stop her and handle her, and we have such a deep team. And we know they have good guard play as well. I mean, they're a Power 5 team, so they're going to have good players in all spots. And I think we're comfortable seeing that type of team. But yeah, definitely going to do a lot of prep today and see how we can stop them.
Maddie?
Yeah, I agree with Frida. You know, obviously they're a great team. They were up to number 2, I believe, this year in the rankings. So, you know, and they obviously, like Frida said, play in a Power 5 conference. So they've played opponents at our level all year. But Obviously, Aoka Lee is a huge part of their team, and like Frida said, they have good guard play. They play that 4-out motion offense, a little similar to what we saw yesterday. But yeah, just we're going to lock into scout today and continue to watch film on them.
Go fourth row in the middle.
Ariel Arsudo, 9 News. This is for Frida. Last night we had Kendall Wetta as one of the breakout stars of the game. Is it kind of a privilege that you have different people breaking out each night for your team, and who could it be a different player tomorrow night? And can you kind of talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a huge privilege, and it's kind of the reason I also came to play college basketball, because I wanted to be on a team where I was with great players who all could contribute in different ways, even if you have a night where you don't shoot a lot and don't score a lot. I mean, just watching our team do so well from the bench is honestly just really, really fun, especially when we win and it's not as frustrating. But yeah, it's frustrating to be on the bench and sit with fouls, but I really love our team, and everyone's so capable, and we don't really care whose night it is as long as we come out with the win.
Go third row in the middle.
Sticking with Frida and sticking with last night, I imagine it was a frustrating game for you personally, just with the foul trouble, things like that. But you've always done a pretty good job of bouncing back from tough games. Why are you able to do that? Like, what kind of allows you to be able to bounce back quickly from a game that's maybe not up to your standard?
Yeah, I think just having some perspective. It's not the first time I've had a game like that, and it's probably not going to be the last, but I know that you kind of just have to put it behind you. That's just one game, and however Drake was guarding us just wasn't matching up to me well, or I was in foul trouble, so I couldn't get in my rhythm. Whatever it was, it doesn't have to be the same the next game. You can't really take that with you. So just know what I can do and just staying in my role. I know what I need to do for this team, so that's what I'm going to focus on for tomorrow.
Go third row on the right.
Do you see Kansas State as a team that kind of stepped in front of you and swiped a 4 seed from you? And does that motivate you in this game?
Go ahead, Frida.
Yes. Yeah, we knew that we were definitely in a battle for that 4 seed. Not that they don't deserve it at all. I think they had a great season, but of course we wanted to host. So now being in this environment, we do feel like we have something to prove, of course. So yeah.
Maddie?
Yeah, I mean, same with Frida. It's not just Kansas State. There are a lot of people on that 4 or 5 seed line. But obviously, being here, like she said, it is motivation for us. And I mean, everyone in the tournament is motivated to move on to the next round. So it's not like you need to look too far for that. But yeah, we're definitely excited to get a chance at a Sweet 16 again.
Go second row middle.
You guys are both shooters. Maddie, I know you talked about in Vegas getting used to the court, getting used to the backdrops, the rims. How much more confident does that make you guys going into tomorrow now that you've already played here once this week?
Go ahead, Maddie.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just being able to shoot around there yesterday, we got to practice the day before, and having played a game, I think, is huge on this court. So going forward, we know how shots are coming off and what the backdrop is and everything like that. So it's a huge help for sure.
Frida?
Yeah, I agree. I just hope to shoot a 3 tomorrow. So, but I've shot plenty in shoot around and practice and everything. So yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Any further questions for the student athletes? All right, ladies, thank you. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Now welcome Colorado head coach Jarrett Payne and open the floor up to questions. Go to the back left.
Coach Luke Zalman, Denver Gazette. You brought up earlier in the year that Kendall Wetta was the best defender in America, annoying, all of these things. What do you think about some of her troubles in high school with injuries? How do you think that kind of shaped the way she sees defense as a college basketball player?
I think Kendall sees defense the way she sees everything in her life. She'll attack it head on. She'll be totally fearless in her pursuit of being the very best that she can be, whether that's organic chemistry or defense or whatever it could be. But yeah, I mean, she's battled and persevered through a fair amount of adversity and injuries, as a high school player, and just always attacked it the same way, be great at my rehab, come back better than I was before.
One follow-up, how unique is the mindset that she brings to your team?
Very unique, yeah. I mean, if we could have 15 Kendall Wettas, that would, any coach in America would love to coach Kendall. I've said that before, just because she's so tough and so resilient and so fearless. And so I think that's probably a big reason that she's so successful in everything.
Go fourth row in the middle.
Ariel Arsudo, 9 News. A lot of the players are talking about how they are looking forward to playing in a hostile environment. Do you like coaching in a hostile environment?
Yeah, I mean, I just love coaching. Anytime I can take the floor with this group of young women, it's an incredible opportunity. The great thing for us is that it doesn't bother us. Like we've had great crowds in Boulder. We also have really great crowds in the Pac-12, similar to the Big 12, I'm sure. And so, yeah, it is what it is. It's great. When they're rooting for you, great. When they're rooting against you, that's all right. It just means we have to dig deeper and kind of stay together a little bit more.
Third row middle.
Hey, Coach. Some of the players were talking about, maybe some motivation because this is a hosting spot that you guys wanted and felt that they should get. Not that Kansas State wasn't deserving, but the players were talking about that's some motivation. Is that something you use with the team,
No.
Or is it just kind of, hey, let them? If that helps them, go ahead.
Yeah, whatever works for them is absolutely fine with me. We're not hosting, had nothing to do with Kansas State, had everything to do with Colorado. But if that motivates us to think, man, this is an opportunity that we missed out on, then I'm all for it.
Second row.
Troy Finnegan, CU Sports Report. Coach, obviously it's a big challenge for you guys tomorrow in the middle with Ioka Lee. How much confidence has it given you in Erin at the last couple of games against Reagan Beers in that quarterfinal and then yesterday against Anna Miller that she's really ready for this moment against these big-time post players?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we play against a lot of really great post players in the Pac-12. We've seen size and strength and mobility almost every single night. I do think Ayoka and Erinette are two of the best centers in the country. So I think it'll be a really fun, exciting basketball matchup. But yeah, we definitely have seen, great size, and I'm excited to see the matchup tomorrow.
As a follow-up to that, is Reagan maybe the closest comp that Erinette's seen to Ayoka, or is there somebody else that is sort of similar, sort of strength and all that?
Yeah, I would say Ayoka's probably a combination between Betts and Beers, just because she's taller than Beers, but kind of built, real strong like Reagan.
Go third row over here on the right.
Starting next year, obviously, you're going to start seeing Kansas State a lot more. Do you approach this game kind of as an opportunity to learn and prepare for the future as well?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, not just being here. At first when we realized we weren't hosting, we were really, excited to be in the tournament, but really disappointed that we'd put ourselves in the position not to host. And then about 5 minutes later, I was like, this is awesome. We're getting a taste of Big 12 country, not just, the game and the arena, but the community and all of that. And so it really is a great opportunity to play a Big 12 team, play in the arena, get comfortable in this space so that next year, maybe this will be the one Big 12 team that doesn't feel brand new next year when we play. But also in preparation, like we've watched so many Big 12 games now in preparing for tomorrow's game, so we kind of have a better feel for the entire league in just 24-hour notice.
And are you acquainted with Jeff Mitty at all? And if so, what's kind of been your interactions with him before?
Yeah, just a little bit. We actually were at a tournament together. Where was it? It might have been. I can't remember where it was. It might have been at a tournament years and years ago. We were in Mexico, and the whole tournament got canceled because of some strange reasons. And so I think it was Kansas State. But anyways, we all ended up at a resort for like 3 days because we were stuck in Mexico with no games, and all the players kind of hung out. And so I don't know him very well, but I've spent time, sitting at gyms together and things like that. I think he's done an incredible job, has great talent, really well-coached team.
Back row left.
Coach, your success here is great. Has Tad Boyle reached out to you in the men's side, and kind of what have you kept an eye on them, and what's it like having two teams advance in the same day?
It is incredible. First of all, I love Tad Boyle. I think he is as great of a coach as he is. He's an even better man. For a women's basketball coach, it's always great to have your men's staff be so supportive and so encouraging of what you're doing. It makes all the difference in the world. And so Tad usually reaches out to me more when we've had a hard game. He's one of a few people that will reach out and say, keep your chin up, and, you guys are doing great, things like that. And so I think we're all kind of celebrating each other from afar. But we all have, a lot to pour into our own basketball preparation. So we'll keep cheering for them. I know they're doing the same for us.
Second row middle.
Maddie and Frida were just talking about some of the best road environments that they've played in this year. I'm just curious, from your perspective, what are some of the best atmospheres that you guys have been in?
Well, by far the best atmosphere is in Boulder at the Event Center. We've had great crowds at home all year long. That's been really incredible. Everywhere, honestly, in the Pac-12 has been really good this year. Corvallis for Oregon State has historically been great. They'll sell out a lot of games. USC was a great environment this year. Oregon always has big crowds. UCLA was a great crowd. Arizona always sells out. So lots of really tough environments we've played in.
Back row left.
Coach, just one more on Kendall. She brought up Jalen Sherrod as someone who's a very adamant supporter of what she does. And I think a player who doesn't get to maybe start as much, that type of deal, that may be very powerful. What do you think that says about the culture of your team?
Yeah, I think Jay and Ken do a great job of really supporting and challenging each other. They're kind of like-minded in that they, as I said earlier, just attack everything in front of them. They're very competitive. You talk about starting. I think Kendall's one of the best, most productive, most inspirational players on our team, and that's why she comes off the bench, because she can bring something off the bench that nobody else on our team brings. And so, as a coach, it's an incredible thing to have that. That you can plug in and be able to change the dynamic of a game. Or even yesterday, I mean, we were obviously not great the first couple minutes. In comes Kendall, call a timeout, the whole dynamic changes. So we're really fortunate to have that.
Any further questions for Coach? All right, thank you. Good luck
All right,
tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's press conference featuring the 4-seeded Kansas State Wildcats as they preview their second-round game against 5th-seeded Colorado tomorrow at 1 p.m. Joining us today are student-athletes Gabby Gregory, Serena Sundell, and Ziana Walker. For those seeking additional interviews, Kansas State's locker room is open now until 2:45. As a reminder, please silence your phones. If you have a question, raise your hand and identify yourself and your organization. Just a reminder, the recording of press conferences on cell phones and cameras is prohibited. You can find the recording of this press conference at ncaa.veritone.com. Before we open it up to questions for the student athletes, Gabby Gregory has an announcement.
So first off, I would like to thank all of the fans for all their support. I thought the environment in Bramlage yesterday was just absolutely amazing. And I would like to announce that the game is officially sold out. I guess they don't clap.
Trying to be serious.
Yeah, it's okay, guys. Do your job.
All right, we'll open it up for questions now. We'll go to the left, fourth row.
So I just asked Colorado players if they felt as if maybe you were a team that slipped in front of them for a 4 seed, and one of them said yes, the other played a little more politically, but they did say that they wanted to host, and that kind of motivates them in this game. So how do you feel like you have something to prove then, having this game coming up?
You can start, Gabby.
Yeah, I mean, I totally see where they'd be coming from with that. If we were on the other side, getting the 5 seed, we would feel the same way. And I think that's why it's even more important that we did get to host, that we do need a sellout and things like that, because that's the advantage that you do get at the end of the day. And I mean, it's March, it's the NCAA tournament, so you're going to get everybody's best game no matter what. So I think that they'll be ready to fight, and it'll be a really good ball game.
Serena?
Yeah, I think you said that pretty well. They've been a similar team to us throughout this year, climbing pretty high in the rankings just throughout the whole year. So Selection Sunday, we really didn't know if we were going to be a 4 or 5, so I can see where they're coming from, like Gabby said. But, yeah, I mean, having a sellout is a huge advantage for us, and it just shows, like, one of the reasons why we deserve to host, just because of the support we have here in Manhattan. But it'll be a good ball game.
Zan?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I can see where they're coming from. If we were a 5 seed, I'd be a little frustrated as well. But at the end of the day, the baskets are still in the same spot. 3-point line still the same length away from the basket. So it's going to be a great ball game, and we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Any other questions? Go front row, middle.
Mitch Fortner, News Radio KMAN. What have you guys learned about Colorado over these last few hours?
Go ahead, Ziana.
Yeah, we know that they're led by their point guard, super fast, pushes the pace. They have a lot of shooters, and they got a good inside game going on. So we know we have to be prepared for all that, and that's what we're doing.
Serena?
Yeah, they're going to be physical. They've got some size on their team and some speed. I mean, they've got really great athletes. So our matchups are going to be important going into this game, and just knowing who you're guarding, and really our scout is going to be more important this game. Coach Mitty has been talking about than it has ever before, just being prepared and being focused on all the little details and really locking into who you're guarding and what they do well and trying to take that away. So just the one-on-one matchups are going to be important. But they're a good team. They're scrappy on defense. They're going to push the ball, push the pace. Yeah.
Gabby?
Yeah, I think, like Zai said, I have a point guard running the show that's very, very fast. Coach Mitty mentioned we had not played somebody as fast as her, so that'll be very important to slow her down a little bit, slow their whole team down. And like Serena said, our matchups will be really, really important tomorrow, so I think we'll match up with them well, though.
Gabby, did Gapco have an official statement on the sellout?
Per usual, he's stone cold, no reaction. He never gets too high, never gets too low. But he said he was really excited to get his chains tomorrow.
Go second row left here.
Scott Fritchen, Kansas State. Just curious, guys. You've obviously played some big games this year. You beat number 2 Iowa. Colorado's played some big games this year. They beat number 1 LSU. Just how big time is this matchup, given the fact that all the success that both teams have had this season?
Start with Gabby.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting matchup. Two teams that were both at one time number 2 in the country. That's a rare thing to see, and I just think that we match up really well. I think it's going to be a really good game. They play kind of similar to how we do. They do a lot of things that we like to do, and I think they've had a really good season, but so have we, so I'm really excited for tomorrow.
Serena?
Yeah, we try to play throughout the season as every game that we're coming into is the biggest game of the year, but you can just feel that this game tomorrow is the biggest one of the year just with what's at stake and the environment we're going to have and all of that. So you try to find a balance of kind of letting yourself have those good nerves and also going back to your preparation and keeping everything in check. But I'm excited to go in with my teammates. I mean, we're all confident and we can lean on each other, so we're excited just to get out there and play tomorrow.
Zayana?
Yeah, I think whoever comes out victorious tomorrow will be the toughest team. And so, yeah, it's just going to be a dogfight to see whoever gets to New York. And, you know, great matchups. I think we match up well with them. I think they match up well with us. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow.
Right side, third row.
Tim Everson at Mercury. Serena, you got to play in this tournament as a freshman. You're back now. How different is this time around for you compared to 2 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, it was a big deal my freshman year. It's a big deal this year. But playing at NC State, I just remember their home environment. I'm pretty sure they had a sellout. It felt like a sellout. We were preparing, you know, with loud noise, and we had hand signals for all of our plays just in case we weren't able to call out the plays loud. So it was a big atmosphere. It was a big game. And obviously I was a freshman. I was nervous. My first time ever in March Madness and postseason like that. So I think just coming into this game yesterday and tomorrow, I just feel with my experience and just the people I have around me that I've prepared for this moment. I've been blessed to be able to have a lot of playing time here, so I'm confident coming to this game. I'm confident with my teammates, and I'm just excited to go play.
Right side, front row.
Arnie Green from Topeka Capital Journal. For any of you, Coach Mitty said after the game yesterday that he felt that was the kind of game you needed, just the intensity and to sort of get the nerves out. Do you feel like it's going to be easier tomorrow to take the court with just having one of those under your belt?
Let's start with Zion and then come down the row.
Yeah, I would say it would be probably a little bit easier now that we're kind of adjusted to being and playing in this tournament a little bit. I think yesterday was really a good game for us because it wasn't just like a crazy blowout. We had to fight for the win. So, yeah, I think tomorrow we're going to be more prepared on the scout and the execution.
Yeah, I agree. I think everybody did a lot of good things yesterday that will just help build confidence going in tomorrow. And then also the areas that we struggled yesterday, we know that like we have to lock in better for tomorrow's game because Colorado's going to take even more advantage of our little mistakes and things like that. So just going into our preparation and scout, like we have to like hear Coach Mitty and really translate every little thing that he's saying because everything matters.
Yeah, I think just like Coach Mitty said, I think we needed a game like that. It's always weird when you don't play for a week or so. So you're just kind of like going to practice every day, just itching to play a game. So I think we were all really excited to get out there and play finally. But it also, I mean, we're excited when we get a sellout, but it still makes you nervous when there's 10,000 people in there. Even if it's your fans, you still get a little nervous. It's still high energy, and you got to try to stay even keel. But now that we have that game under us, I think we're all just really excited to come out tomorrow.
Third row, right side.
Tim Everson at Mercury. Ziana, what has it been like to be able to have players like Serena and Gabby to kind of help guide you as a freshman this season?
It's been amazing. They've been playing in this program, Gabby, 2 years, Serena 3, so they're veterans, and they know kind of what Coach Mitty is looking for and can guide me on just like the flow of the offense, the flow of how Coach Mitty coaches, and they were really great when I just came in here of being those leaders, being those role models for me.
Third row middle.
Luke Lazarchuk, K-State Collegian. Ziana, you made a couple tough shots yesterday. How do you keep your offense, including that mid-range late, how do you keep your offense mentality when you have three players in Serena, Gabby, and Ioka who are such proficient scorers, and make sure that you still, when the moment counts, that you're ready to hit a basket if needed?
Just be ready for my opportunity. So when I had the ball in my hands late for that one mid-range, I just knew I had to make a play. I had to shoot it. Shot clock was running down, so I just got to be ready for my opportunities and just be ready to step up when my time comes.
Any further questions for the student athletes? Second row left.
Yeah, you have families around, friends. I was wondering if you could go through and just kind of let me know how big your crowd's going to be tomorrow, what that's going to be like.
Start with Ziana.
Yeah, so I used all my tickets. My family's going to be coming, as well as like friends and previous coaches, so it'll be exciting to be able to see all of them and have them be able to watch me play in the NCAA tournament.
Serena.
Yeah, usually throughout the season I can ask my teammates for tickets and they'll send them right over to me, but I was asking everybody, and Gabby beat me to some people, Beck was beating me to tickets, Yoki was beating me to tickets, so they're tough to come by. But I did get them. I think I have 13 on my pass list, and then yesterday I had a similar amount, and then there's people who just feel bad for bothering me, so I didn't even know they were coming, and I see them after the game like, oh, hello. But no, I have a great support system, and I'm close to home. So I'm excited just for my family and friends to be able to come watch a game like this.
Gabby.
Yeah, I think I got 11 coming tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, and then also people like Cooper Beebe and his girlfriend, and I don't have to get tickets for them, thankfully. But yeah, thanks, Gene. But yeah, there'll be a lot of people there. And then obviously I have tons of people texting me saying that they're watching the games from states away and stuff. So I know we'll have a lot of people's families here tomorrow and a sold-out crowd, so it'll feel good.
Got time for one more, if any more? Yep. Last one right here, third row middle.
This is for everyone. Obviously with the sellout, the fan support has been huge, but also a lot of the other athletic teams at K-State have been posting, supporting you guys. How does it feel to have all their support as well?
Start with Gabby and go down the row.
Yeah, that's been really cool to see on social media. It was cool to see some of the teams incorporate the gap goat into their videos as well. I know the football team, they had the gap goat over there. Volleyball, they had a little tiny gap goat in their net. That was just really awesome to see. But yeah, everyone has been so supportive. I know even yesterday, the track team, the throwers were supposed to practice at 3 o'clock, and Yoki emailed their coach, and their coach was like, yep, we'll change practice. And they went in the morning so they could all come to the game yesterday. So all the sports and coaches and everything, everyone's been so supportive. It's been awesome.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a special place to be and be a college athlete, just the support that we have throughout teams, and I mean, it's just, it's very rare. You don't see that across the country, so I'm just super thankful to be in a place like Kansas State where everybody is just so supportive, and, we go to the volleyball games and soccer games and all that stuff too, and it's so fun, like, just people just truly enjoy just supporting one another, and this is a great place to be.
Ziana?
Yeah, I also heard that the soccer team was supposed to have practice while we played our game yesterday, and it got canceled, so they were able to come to our game, and I saw some cool signs that they had made, so it feels great to just play for a program with such a great family culture.
All right, ladies, thank you. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks.
All right, now welcome Kansas State head coach Jeff Mittie and open the floor up to questions. Start here on the second row left.
Scott Fritchen, Kansas State. Coach, just was curious, first of all, with the sellout, what that means, and then also, Gabby was talking about maybe a little bit of nerves coming out with the sellout. How do you kind of use that to you guys' advantage?
Yeah, we've played in such big crowds. I don't know that the sellout, but I mean, they're excited about the sellout. I thought it was a great crowd yesterday. I thought it was a great atmosphere yesterday. As I've referenced numerous times, we've had really, really good crowds. I think the significance of the sellout is just simply that's a big statement for, I think, any program to be selling these events out and any community to be selling these games out. And we're very fortunate that, I've said this a couple times, we're very fortunate that we have a fan base that appreciates women's basketball. And we've got administration that wants to host these events. There's a difference in, obviously, we earn to host these events, but wanting to host them and wanting to do a great job, those are different things. So, yeah, we're real. I appreciate the fan base, and I appreciate all the people that made this happen because it's pretty cool.
Third row on the right.
Tim Everson, Manhattan Mercury. Jeff, you got to go through this process 2 years ago with Serena and the Glens as freshmen. How different, aside from the fact that obviously you guys are at home, how different has it been? How different have you kind of seen them handle the biggest stage?
Well, they're not as wide-eyed young ones as they were, that first tournament run, and their approach, I think, has been like you would expect a veteran approach of taking care of their bodies, getting ready. I thought they had a good approach to the first game, good approach to practices. Every year's different, though, and so whether you're a freshman or a junior, you hope that. You hope that you have that same excitement. I've been doing this a long time. I have the same excitement, but it does feel different. You understand the preparation. You don't know what you don't know when you first get into it. So they have a good understanding of that now, and I think that's not just NCAA tournament basketball, but going through all the tournaments that we've played, whether it be the Florida tournament, whether it be the Big 12 tournament. I think all of that prepares you for moments like this, and I think they've played in a lot of those moments throughout their career.
Third row middle.
Coach, since yesterday, what have you learned about Colorado? The girls mentioned Jalen Sherrod and her speed. What all else have you learned?
Well, I knew a lot about Colorado before. Obviously, they've had this is a veteran group for them, so this is not a this is a team that's played together. This is a team that last year made a good run in the tournament, so they've got a quality team. Sherrod really does a great job at the point. They've got good shooters. They've got good inside depth. They're just a well-balanced team that can hurt you in a lot of ways.
Second row left.
Yeah, Scott Fritchen, Kansas State again. We know the resumes of yourself and also of Colorado, the rankings and the big games you've been involved in. Just, Jeff, how big time is this matchup tomorrow?
I think it's a great matchup. I think it's two really good teams. I think it's two teams that had a really, really good year in their respective leagues. And I think it's a matchup that deserves the crowd that we're going to have and the energy that we're going to have in that building. It should be a great matchup.
Any further questions for Coach? Go fourth row on the left.
Yeah, both of you were kind of on the bubble for the 4-5 seed there. How good does it feel that you were on this side and you get to play them at home?
I had us as a 2 seed, Arnie, so I wasn't. I wasn't on the bubble in my bracket, but the committee. No. Yeah, it feels great to have it at home. I mean, I don't want to. We've had a great home court advantage. We've had great energy. Our students have been phenomenal. Gosh, our students have been phenomenal. Those they have really. I visited with some of them the day that the tickets opened up for them, and they were just so excited, and just it's been phenomenal. And it's, you know, it's kind of been that way in our athletic department for the last couple of years at a lot of our sports. But to have it for us is really, really special. So, you know, to have it at home and to have earned the 4 seed, you know, obviously we were on the bubble. We were in the mix of, you know, those last couple spots with about 4 or 5 other teams. We feel good that we came out on the side that's hosting.
Third row on the right.
Tim Everson, Manhattan Mercury. Yesterday, just watching the game, we noticed that Amani wasn't on the bench with you guys. I didn't know if you had a status update on her.
Well, the good news is we think that she'll be able to be there tomorrow. But she got another sickness, you know, so I don't want to go into too much medical stuff, but we're hopeful. She just really battled something, and they haven't been able to get her to feel better. So they were a little bit worried in just being around everything. But they did give her good news that if she keeps moving forward, feeling better, that she'll be on the bench, and that'd be a big lift for the team because Imani's a lot of fun over there on the bench. She has a good time. She has good energy to her. Unfortunately, she's probably a ways away from playing, though. So that would be the playing status. She had a setback Monday or Tuesday. Yep.
Third row middle.
Recently in the close games, it seems Serena, Gabby, Ayoka are always on the court, and then Jalen, Briley, and Ziana have sort of mixed in the 2 of the last 3, and there's foul trouble with them yesterday, but what determines which 2 of those 3 are in late?
Well, sometimes it's just as simple as feel. Sometimes it's as simple as the rhythm of the game or the feel that the player has or yeah, there's not I think that particular group, I think any of them can be on the floor in that stretch of minutes. I don't think that, but I do think that Zai has given us a good defender off the bench. And if we feel like, or if I feel like that I need that on the floor, then Zai is somebody. Briley has been in 90-plus games in her career. She knows the big moments. She rises up in the big moments, so she's going to be out there. Jay gives us another ball handler with Rena. So, you know, I can't speak to all the specifics of that, but I feel comfortable with any of them on the floor. And in some games, I've just had a feel that this was Zai's moment to be out there. We needed what she gave us, and so it's as simple as that.
Right side, third row.
I know yesterday you kind of compared Portland. They said they had kind of a West Virginia type feel. Is there a team that you've played this season that you feel like compares well to Colorado?
Well, I think Sherrard gives you the West Virginia part. The frontline depth gives you a little bit of Texas in that. Yeah, I don't know that there's a similar across the board. I think the speed of West Virginia's guards with Harrison and Quinterly, Sherrard has that kind of push, and they do a great job of getting her in the open floor. And then, as I mentioned, their depth at the forward center spot is pretty good. So I think they're a quality team that, you know, like it should at this time of the year, quality players across the roster.
Any further questions for Coach? Left side.
If you can just tie a bow on it, just what would it mean to this team and this program to get a win tomorrow?
Well, we went into this year wanting to have the best season in women's basketball here at K-State. That was one of the stated goals, that we wanted to have a record year. And it would mean a lot. It would mean a lot for this team to make that push. And it would mean a lot to do it at home. And it would mean a lot to do it in front of our fans who, you know, we've talked about this numerous times, but when you lose an All-American for 7 games, we had players step up in those moments, but we also had our fans step up in those moments. So, yeah, it would mean a lot at home. It would mean a lot for this team to continue to play. That's the one thing that, continue to play, to continue to go to practice. Aoka Lee says it better than anybody. Just appreciate the moment of being able to spend with your teammates, your coaches, all the above. So it would mean a lot.
Anything else? All right, Coach. Thank you. Good luck
All right.
tomorrow.
Thanks, Ryan.